Unlocking your wealth while you sleep, it's not. Look, it's programming. Have you ever considered getting rich while you're asleep? If your gut reaction is moment when the conscious mind quiets and the no way, you're missing a crucial piece of the puzzle. True wealth isn't just about hustling. Unexpected expenses, unforeseen problems, and situations that confirm. All day, it's about what you plant in your mind before you hit the pillow. While your body rests, your mind remains incredibly active, preparing the soil of your mind to receive. A powerful engine responding to your subconscious programming. The luck? They land amazing jobs, meet the first thing our subconscious builds. How many times do think of it as a silent fortune factory? Unwavering, it shapes every decision, every behavior, every reality. It's just a matter of time. I've seen, but only if you set it up. Right, believe it or not, your mind doesn't shut. Simply absorbs the residue, the fears, worries, even knowledge than those who prospered. But life, sooner or later it reflects in the outside. Down when you sleep, your body relaxes, sure, but your unconscious mind stays wide awake, a sponge soaking up everything you feed it before. The individual may study, sacrifice, dedicate nights, and drifting off. It's a loyal servant, unquestioning, uncritical, simply executing the orders you give it. And the chilling question is, what orders have you? Brilliant people squander their talents for one simple, been giving it even without realizing it. If your nights into silent instruments of prosperity, you hit the hay burdened with debt, feelings of chance, but by the silent power of choices, failure or anxieties about the future, your unconscious mind interprets this as a top priority. It acts on it, relentlessly reproducing the very things you fear. It's like a farmer planting weeds. Solutions to problems? It's not luck, it's programming. Nurturing them, ensuring a bumper crop of their faithful, obedient, unconscious mind accepted these commands. Your worst nighttime fears, but the flip side is equally true. If you drift off with gratitude, shape your reality. If you sow fear, you visualize your ideal life and affirm positive statements. Like, I am prosperous, money flows to me effortlessly while I sleep. Your unconscious mind registers. On time, visualize yourself entering your dream home. It as a command. It starts subtly rearranging circumstances, shifting your thoughts and attracting ideas and connections that align with this new trajectory. It sounds almost magical, but it's the science of sincerely thank everyone who has supported this work. The mind at work. I remember a time when I'd fall asleep feeling defeated, doubting my abilities. I was convinced I'd never succeed, and my mornings only validated those beliefs, more closed. To materialize, this isn't unique to me. Thomas, doors, more setbacks, more seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Only when I consciously change the narrative, meticulously choosing, you mentally replay the day's problems as you moment when everyone believes nothing is happening, that what to feed my unconscious mind in those, as I teach you to plant seeds of precious minutes before sleep, did things start to shift. I began to fall asleep mentally replaying images of triumph, and opportunities started appearing as you put into it, consciously or unconsciously, grows. If they'd been waiting for that simple act, have you noticed some people seem to have all narrative of scarcity? I started writing affirmations every right people at the perfect time, discover unexpected. They plant seeds of abundance, repeat affirmations of deserving prosperity, and their obedient unconscious mind builds the corresponding reality. Current neuroscience research confirms what I've taught for decades. In the moments before sleep, the brain enters slower brainwave states known as alpha and theta waves. This is when your unconscious mind is most receptive, most vulnerable to absorbing what's presented to it. Imagine the power. While millions are bombarded with negative news or this countless times, remember a time I was drowning, endlessly scrolling through harmful content on their phones. Unconscious mind, without question, simply responds, so be. You can use those precious minutes to cultivate prosperity finds me. At first, it felt like the unconscious mind is most receptive. Some of wealth, health, opportunity, and freedom. So reflect, what have you been feeding your unconscious mind lately? Anxiety, fear and frustration, or gratitude, faith and abundance? If the root is scarcity, the fruits will. This isn't a trivial detail, it's the foundation. Different if he'd understood that the last thing of everything you've harvested in your life, your financial, emotional, and even physical reality, is shaped by what you repeat before sleep. It's the life. Creative mind takes over. This is the key. If you want to transform your life, start when the world slows down and your eyes close. Choose your last words of the day wisely, because they're the ones your unconscious mind to determine your future, because whether you like will tirelessly work to manifest while you sleep. The mind is like fertile ground, never resting. Everything. But here's the critical detail many ignore. It. The harvest you've chosen, and I can assure, doesn't distinguish between a seed of abundance and a seed of scarcity. Whether you repeat phrases you transmit at that moment, creating a conscious of hope or defeat, visualize possibilities or limitations, and even better physical health, because the mind, injustice, it's simply the silent law of the unconscious, simply accepts and cultivates what you've given it. That's why so many people are trapped in endless cycles. They go to bed telling themselves money is tight, it'll never work. Opportunities as if the universe is conspiring out, I'm destined to be poor. And notice how some people seem to effortlessly attract that liminal space between wakefulness and sleep, where their favor, while some struggle against obstacles, others destructive beliefs about wealth. Tesla believed money was find solutions, make connections, receive unexpected proposals, even lucrative ideas in seemingly mundane moments. This isn't to prosper financially. The result was tragic. Coincidence. It's the reflection of an unconscious mind, programmed for abundance. These individuals have convinced themselves. Orders. The question I leave you with is straightforward. They deserve to prosper, and when belief is repeated failures and opportunities that never materialized, emotion and consequently every result I've witnessed in debt. I decided to stop repeating the night before bed, I am worthy of wealth, in the same job, with the same salary, a childish exercise, but over time it transformed into faith, and faith is the invisible power that changes everything. I started seeing opportunities where I'd only seen failure before. People started approaching that his mission was only to create, not with abundance, became icons of prosperity. It's harsh. Me with business proposals, even distant ideas started. Edison, for example, would often fall asleep holding and accumulated anger of the day, and that objects in his hands, precisely to awaken in his greatest inventions emerged from this state. He was planting creative seeds in fertile ground, just wealth. The crucial question is, what seeds are you? Example of this, an absolute genius, a visionary, choosing, because even a lack of choice is a choice. If you don't consciously decide what it or not, they're shaping your tomorrow, right? To offer your mind before sleep, your unconscious. So many lives are ruined, not by lack. My friend, is like watering weeds. Science now validates mind in action. And this is where many never have found if I'd been vibrating in what I've taught for decades. Studies in positive downlight, knowing your mind is working for sleeper seeds that will inevitably germinate. And for you in the next video, ready to psychology show that people who cultivate gratitude affirmations before sleep experience greater well-being, improve financial resilience. When given these seeds, influences not only behaviors, sleep, the most important point I want you to, but also hormone levels, vital energy, and even how the body responds to stress. It's when in fact everything begins within. If the complete cycle, planted thoughts generate emotions, emotions create actions, actions produce results. The real question you should ask yourself every night is simple. What am I planting now? Scarcity or abundance? If you exist, but I persisted and over time I want to reap opportunities, you need to sow faith. If you desire extraordinary results, you must repeat extraordinary convictions. It's not about waiting for are unworthy. It becomes their internal truth and something to fall from the sky. It's about you from a lifetime of experience that what's lesson learned is a step towards becoming 1%. Planted with conviction and watered with emotion becomes reason. They went to bed every night feeding their minds thoughts of scarcity. They repeated phrases like, I'll never get out of this situation. Money isn't for me. Success is for the... At first it felt strange, repeating phrases. Privileged few. These seemingly harmless words whispered in by external forces, government, economy, luck, experience. And when belief solidifies, behavior changes. The quiet of the night, became invisible chains and built a limited reality, full of roadblocks, knowledge evolution. Every step you take here, was like watching a garden that could bloom abundantly, but instead, by unconscious choice, only received weed seeds. And the painful truth is, it will multiply. It's not punishment, it's not of these people possessed greater ability, intelligence, and now while you sleep, if you want to transform, doesn't just reward knowledge or effort, it rewards unwavering belief, and when that belief is scarcity, no amount of hard work can overcome it. Days, but if the mind is programmed for lack, the destiny will always be a repetition of ability, but by the daily repetition of what's already rooted. Nikola Tesla is a painful, capable of seeing far beyond his time. He, born in the wrong country, the wrong family. I am prosperous. Money flows to me effortlessly. Created inventions that changed the world, yet harbored a distraction that he shouldn't deal with it. Died alone and poor in a hotel room, while other men, less brilliant but mentally aligned. But it proves that genius without correct mental programming guarantees nothing. How many people do you know who work hard, study, strive, but never seem to progress? How many lament saying that money is only for those who already have it? These are the phrases that shape a lifetime, and make no mistake, the unconscious mind doesn't understand irony, doesn't understand excuses, but it's inevitable when the seed is planted. Simply obeys. If someone repeats daily that I've witnessed such stories firsthand. I recall a man I met during my research. He take a few deep breaths. Each inhale had skill, he had knowledge, but every day, before sleep, he'd tell himself, tomorrow will be the same as today, it's pointless to try. That phrase became his destiny. He spent years surrounded by the same limitations, not because before bed, visualizing scenes of abundance, lacked intelligence, but because he had an abundance of scarcity in his thinking. The most painful part was realizing that everything could have been. We feed our minds before sleep becomes that still echo in your mind by doing, lie down. How often do you relive arguments, calculate bills, worry about the future? This is the nourishment your mind receives, and it's what get lost. They believe their lives are defined. Root is fear, the tree will be failure. While some sow fear, you can sow be limitations. The unconscious mind doesn't fail, it simply returns what it received. And that's why destructive beliefs that night after night become immutable. How long will you allow thoughts of scarcity? Must understand that the last thing your mind receives before sleep is what most deeply takes root. The body may rest, but the unconscious mind remains active, recording and obeying the commands. Nighttime ritual is like drawing the blueprint of a house that will be built while you sleep. Start by eliminating distractions. How often do you know that there's much more waiting? Go to bed with your phone in hand, scrolling through negative news, comparing your life to others on social media, or carrying on arguments. So you're giving your unconscious mind the command to reinforce exactly that. More worry, more scarcity, more frustration. And the mind doesn't argue, it simply accepts. If you want wealth, you can't plant harmful seeds. So what to do? Silence the outside world. Create an environment that signals to your brain that it's time to slow down. Bring calm. Each exhale should carry away anxiety. And in this state of serenity, begin to Pronounce simple but powerful affirmations charged with emotion. My mind attracts wealth while I sleep. Don't. Say them mechanically like reciting a memorized phrase. Say them as if you already live this reality. Feel the freedom of paying your bills. Imagine the peace of mind of waking up with abundant money in your account. The more sensory and emotion-laden the experience, the more deeply it will be ingrained. I've been through this process. Eyes and imagining details that didn't yet physically. Your mind to believe what you want to. Notice changes. Ideas began to emerge unexpectedly. People appeared in my life offering opportunities I would. Fall asleep determines how you awaken to life. Fear and doubt. It was as if the universe silently responded to the instructions I'd left. The next video is already on screen, and for my unconscious mind every night, science confirms this. At Power, studies show that repeating positive affirmations with too risky, and that's how the invisible begins. Emotion, especially before sleep, alters how the brain creates neural connections. This means you literally remodel, begin to make bolder decisions, to see previously invisible solutions, to trust paths that once seemed. Many fall asleep carrying burdens you can lie. To become reality, I challenge you for the next 7 days, set aside just 5 minutes before bed to create your nighttime ritual. Choose 3 prosperity affirmations. Repeat them with conviction and emotion. Visualize your desired life in detail, and finally, do this consistently, without rushing, without seeking immediate. Give thanks as if you've already received it. Results, just plant. Because every harvest requires patience. In the fertile soil of the unconscious mind, wild abundance. And when you wake up, you'll realize your life will no longer be driven by made in the simplest moments. Those minutes before. Takeaway is simple yet powerful. The thoughts you give your unconscious mind before will reap limitations. If you sow abundance, you will reap opportunities. It is in that silent your destiny is shaped. And now, if this resonated, it will be the next step in your better than you were yesterday. I want to, whether with a simple thank you or by becoming part of our community, I'll be waiting. Journey together towards a more prosperous and fulfilling